Thank you. Okay, good evening, everyone. Thank you for taking the time to join this meeting tonight. Ryan is not able to join us as he has another obligation with his company in his new position, so good luck to him. Naomi should be joining us shortly as soon as she can get to her computer, but she is stuck in traffic right now. So I am going to skip the youth compliance forms for the missing clubs, but we can go ahead and do HRYF. Was that going to be you, Steve? Are you joining us on that?
Exactly. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So HRYF, you all know it stands for Hawaii Rotary Youth Foundation. So applications have been sent out for the next round of scholarships, which will be awarded at the end of February. So the deadline for submission of the applications is February 1st. So please, they've all been sent to every high school's guidance office. So that's where they're available, but they've also been sent to every president and HRYF contact for each club. So what we've done in our club, Pearl Harbor, is we've disseminated them to everybody in the club, asking them to, if you know a high school senior, who's an overachiever, please forward the application to them. So, and then I saw Dick Moscow. Dick, you were on this a minute ago anyway. There you are. Hi.
Yeah.
So if you guys didn't know it, Dick and his club are great examples of clubs having their own foundation and their own fund to give to the non-winners of the HRYF competition, or even additional funds to the winner. I mean, they're your own funds, so you can do whatever you want with them. For example, my club, of course, we have the competition for the $5,000 prize, but we also have our own money that we give to the non-winners. And then we follow that up in June before the kids go to school with a big award ceremony. So it's very cool. I'm sure many of the clubs or your clubs are doing this, but if they're not, we encourage. Dick, you got any words of wisdom you want to share?
No, it just depends, every club is struggling for money. The bottom line, and just gotta have your priorities set in your club, or what are you gonna fund first, second, and third, and that's where the funds are gonna fall.
So any questions, comments?
Well, comment, the Rotary Club of Kona Sunrise has 3 different scholarships that we award above and beyond the HYRF. One of them is a brand new scholarship by a family who is specifying it towards construction trades for a 2-year junior college program or 4-year college program for construction trades. And we have 2 others that have been our club scholarships for longer than I've been a member. So we do have a total of $3,200 in additional scholarships that our little club gives. So that's what we're doing in Kona Sunrise.
Nice. Any other comments, thoughts?
Yeah, Steve, real quickly, there is a minimum that is required by each club in order to, can you go over that real briefly?
Well, there's dues. So everybody pays $200 a year in dues. And then there's a per capita donation requirement of $20 a head. We'd like to make it more, and I think we will actually, because we just got to grow the corpus. $5,000 for a scholarship is, good money, but it's kind of a drop in the bucket for college expenses these days.
Right.
Well, you guys know. So anyway, those are the 2 requirements. $20 per head, however many members you have, multiply it by $20, and that's that's a need to get the $5,000 scholarship.
Correct. And then it
Anything else?
qualifies them for the elites to, those selected to get the $10,000 scholarship, yeah. Two of them.
I missed that, Jen. What was it?
Then it goes for those that have, met the minimum requirements or the requirements to qualify for possibly the two recipients for the $10,000 scholarship.
If you win the 5,000, you're automatically qualified. Yeah, I'm not sure I followed that, but yeah, if you win the 5, you can win the 10. Any other
But-
questions?
But if you win the 5 and you win the 10, then you cannot receive the 5, and so your second place person will get the 5. That's what I read, or that's what I saw on the last meeting, the recording of that. Is
No,
that
I don't
tr-
think that is correct.
No, that's
Um,
not correct.
So they
You
can
either
still
get 5 or you get 10.
okay, but you can't get 15, right?
No, sorry.
Right, because the second place winner will get the 5 that the first person. Right, got it.
Nice try, though. That had me going for a second.
Hey.
Yeah.
It all
Attention.
helps.
It's Monday.
Monday, yes.
Dick, I'm just curious, how much, if you can share, does your club give in addition to the 5,000?
None. We have our own scholarship, and it's just one scholarship, but it's $4,000, and it's spread out over 2 years, 2,000 a year, once every semester. We pay $1,000 each. We want the person to recognize our club and be close to our club for 2 years and make sure the name Rotary is ingrained in them, not just a one time and it's gone. And the last recipient, wanted to join our club already from high school. I told her no, she's going to UH. I told her join the Rotary Club first because the dues are too high for Rotary. After you graduate, then come and join us.
Well, that's a great idea.
I believe in that too, for sure.
So
Let me get just let you off the subject. Let me inform you about something. Okay. And right now for the island of Oahu, it's mainly probably all on the leeward side, but the PUC, Public Utilities Commission on Oahu, has mandated that whenever something happens big in a community and affects a community, so like we have the Waiau power plant in Pro City. That power plant is going to refurbish 4 big generators over the next 5 years. Okay, they are going to give out a community benefits program. First year in 2030 is going to be $250,000, and every year thereafter $750,000 for 30 years to a brand new foundation in Pro City. I am now writing the bylaws and SOP for that new foundation.
Wow.
Very
30 years, I'm not gonna be around. This thing is gonna be worth $45 to $50 million, kicking off $2 million every year for grants and scholarships.
Wow.
Wow.
So what I'm telling you is, if in your community you see anything, the Stadium Authority, once it's developed, is also gonna do that. So any solar power plant, anybody in your community, you wanna make sure to see if they have a community benefits program they're gonna offer, and you get on that committee.
Wow.
Okay,
I'm curious, who's eligible for that money?
I'm writing the rules right now.
So you gotta live in Pearl City or what?
I'm being a little more generous with the rules. I'm finally convinced the hard hitters there. We will also open up to Aiea and Waipahu. Because, $50 million kicking off $2 million a year. Pro City cannot spend $2 million a year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so State Authority is gonna have theirs. And so Aiea, we take the off and we'll drop Aiea off at that point, and we'll probably add another community.
Wow, that's huge.
So be on the lookout for that because it's gonna help your club down the road later on.
Dick, sorry, but first time I've heard this. So how can a club get involved, and
Well, this was my invitation only from Hawaiian Electric. So we kind of got our group right now. So just be on the lookout and whoever's in charge of that, project, if it's gonna be solar panels or whatever. You wanna find out if they have one, are you forming a committee? And I got a feeling that the bylaws we're drafting right now, is probably gonna be a standard a lot of other places are gonna use. This happened about in 2006 in Waianae, the Waianae coast, when that popped up, but they only gave them $1 million. That was it. We're talking about them giving us about $21 million over 30 years.
Wow.
Yeah, and now that all the outer islands fall under the HEI umbrella, that's really interesting. Love to find out more information.
Just be on the lookout. As soon as you hear something, track it down and get invited.
Got it. Awesome.
Any other thoughts, comments? Okay, Jen,
Hey,
thank you.
Steve?
I'm going to take your leave if you don't mind.
No
Oh, no, wait,
problem.
Wait, hold
What?
on, Steve. Steve, was there a webinar on how to do the applications or what the rules were?
Naomi, that was Naomi, yeah?
Yes.
Yep.
Can you repeat that, please?
Was there a Zoom on how to do the applications or something to do training?
You mean for students or for Rotarians?
Zoom to do training?
Yeah, but is that Zoom for, people on the selection committee or for applicants, you mean?
You had more than one Zoom for HRYF?
No, there's only one, and it's for,
Okay,
yeah, it's for people on the committee, the selection committee.
okay. So all of the clubs were invited to the Zoom, so people who didn't make it can get a recording link.
That's a good idea. Yeah, I'm not sure right off the top of my head, but I'll follow up. I'll have
Okay.
Tina.
I'll follow up on that too, because I know that I refer kids to the actual Rotary 5000 website for the application itself. Am I not supposed to do that?
No, that's, well, that's a good question. I don't even know if it's there.
It's there.
Oh, it is? Okay, good. Because I always refer people to our website, HRYF's website.
Steve?
Yeah.
I visited the local high school here last week and spoke with the seniors in the high school club and some students that were in a calculus class that I got there too early. So I said, well, as long as I'm here, let me talk. And so I was telling them that because we didn't have very many scholarship applications last year, so I was really kind of pushing it, talking to the kids about it. I gave out the paper copies of it because it's on the school web, or it's on the counselor's list of scholarships, but there's a whole zillion of them there. It's kind of buried there in the middle of it. So was that okay? Please say yes, because I've already done it.
Yeah, and Nancy, not only is it okay, that's what we want you to do. So
Oh, okay.
let
Okay,
me
I'm good.
reiterate to everybody what Nancy said, if you weren't listening. There were fewer applications last year, who knows why, but Dick, go ahead. Dick, you're
You're
muted.
muted.
The counselors in the schools are not pushing it anymore.
Yeah.
Just to give you an example in the mix, Pro City High School. Last year, their students collectively received $3.1 million in scholarships. So the 5,000 we gave is just part of $3.1 million. So they don't really push it. It's there for the students to go and go. Even for our club scholarship, we had to go and chase our Interact Club people to go and apply for it because we only had one applicant. So they're not really pushing it anymore like they did in the past.
Yeah, so Dick,
You gotta push it.
not only that, but so have your HRYF contact in your club contact whoever your sponsored high school is or your sponsored Interact clubs and push it. Send the application to the Interact chair. Make sure they get it. That's what we've done at Pearl
Yeah.
Harbor. Our two high
Yeah.
schools are Montaloo and Radford.
Yeah,
Um,
that's what we're doing now.
So
Yeah,
make sure
direct
that
from the
happens.
website. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Anything else? Go get them, guys. Thanks,
Hey,
Okay, yep, bye.
hey, Naomi, thanks so much, Steve. Welcome, Joni. I'm sorry I didn't recognize you earlier. And Mary Alberts, hey girl, what's up? But we're gonna move on to Ryla and for updates. Unfortunately, I don't see Rich Tabor from Oahu, but I can tell you that Big Islands Ryla, due to a conflict of dates, we are going to be having our Ryla from January 31st to February 2nd also. Right now, we're happy that we have 8 different schools right now from around the island and up to 20 applicants. So thrilled about that. And we have our youth facilitators already secured. Nancy, and Karen, would you like to add anything more? We got our first Kona Waina person from your side applied today. So yay.
Okay, well, that's good news. Karen?
Yeah, I passed out Ryla flyers at Konawaina High School last week. And it said, please distribute these. And so it's nice to see it's coming to fruition. Great.
Definitely. So go Kona.
Okay, I'll go ahead and pass out the flyers at Kayla Kahe. I didn't do that. I was so focused on HYRF that I didn't even think about Ryla. So I'll go ahead and take some flyers up to that high school as well.
Yeah, I'm expecting that by mid-December, we're going to be at full capacity. So if you want Kona representation, definitely get them to respond. Mary, how's Maui going?
We're going okay, a little on the slow side, but we're still holding it the February 14th through 16th. And let's see, what else? I have a former Rylarian who's working with a youth program who's got 8 or 9 kids he's going to refer, so from different high schools. So that's cool. And then we just got our application up, so just getting the word out now and
how it goes. You got,
Yep.
you're 2 weeks, you got 2 more weeks more than we do. I'd
Yeah,
like everybody,
so.
if you don't know Gail Takaki, he's been instrumental in past Rylas, and Mary and Rick and I have all had the pleasure to work with Gail. And she's definitely a calculus of getting those that are not able to have these opportunities and those that want to lead right away, whether it be STEM, robotics, and many other adventures to help recruit. So Gail, do you want to say anything?
Well, hello, everyone. There's so many new faces. I feel like an ancient member. I just want to share that for me, youth services has been the motivation to even continue as a Rotarian. You know, it's just been so precious. So enjoy your time with it. It's good to see Mary and Karen again online. And I found it interesting already. I've learned a few things from the start of this meeting. So nice job, Jen.
Oh, not me, but everybody. But yeah, so Mary, we sort of followed in your footsteps, and we now have youth program coordinators. So thank you for sharing. So that's the benefit of doing a statewide RILA, where you get to learn different ideas, implement different things, and understand the youth are prepared to deal whatever may come their way, that we we were fortunate not to have to experience in the older generations. So
Yeah,
we got the
let me
support
just
all
add,
the way.
sorry, let me just add that, we have at least 8 facilitators from the previous 2 years to come back and lead all the activities. So, yeah.
Good.
The kids love Ryla. It's for sure. It's modified, and what a beautiful program it is. And they go on for sure to do bigger and better things, and never forget the opportunity that I'm not sure if you guys have dealt with Ryla, but they are constantly thanking us for the opportunity and support that goes way beyond just a camp, but for many, many years. So anyway, that takes care of Ryla. Anybody have any update for Kauai? Go ahead, Naomi.
Kauai got postponed, so they didn't have it. So they're gonna have it in spring, I think. But they're postponing it because they didn't have
February, yay, that's the date. No,
I think it's because they didn't have enough signups. But may I ask for Oahu, how are we doing? We only have 9 people signed up for Ryla on Oahu. So Pro Ridge, Kapolei, how are we doing? Ever Beach?
Ever Beach, we got nothing yet. I don't know how come.
Because we're holding 8 seats for you, yeah, Ever Beach.
Ever Beach, really? Did
No,
we?
wait, sorry.
Down.
Two for you.
2 seats.
Campbell, Kapolei is 8. Joni,
We have 8, and I've been working with the 2 Rotary clubs, the Interact clubs that we have, Kapolei High School and IPA. So I've given to both of the clubs, and I'm pushing them to sign up. So we'll see. I've only been talking to them a week, so got to give them some time to assimilate and decide.
and Dick, you got your 2. Was it 2? Or 3? 3 for Pro Ridge.
Right. I doubt we're gonna work on it because we're gonna have our own little leadership conference in March for
Oh.
interactors.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
yeah. So the I can only share this is that phone calls never help. I mean, never help. Are not hard. So sorry. Always help. A personal contact to get a little movement going. And so, for Oahu, I think if we can share the phone numbers of those youth chairs, so we can get them a little bit more involved, and also for Maui, I'm sure, of all the youth chairs, and for Big Island. I know we can send out emails, but people tend to respond more to texts than they do to emails. So yeah, if there's a way that we can get their phone numbers, that'd be great for reaching out a little bit further. And Mary, Rick have been in the program a long time, along with Gail, and of course Naomi and many others. Karen, we will do whatever it takes to make a program successful when it comes to nurturing our youth and letting them grow and be able to handle the problems that they have in their future. It's quite a transition, right? From when they enter the Ryla camp and when they come out 2 days later. So it's quite a transformation. So feel free to reach out to any of us. If you can't reach your island person, you have me and Mary and Naomi, Ryan. I'm not sure where Rick is. I'll go ahead and give him a call and go, what's up? And get him more. But I know many of you have laid the template for this wonderful program, and we don't want it to fall on the wayside. So, yep. And the other thing we don't want to forget about is Junior Ryla. Dick, were you going to speak about that?
I'm not in charge of Junior Ryla.
Okay, Naomi, I'll let you take the lead.
That's Alfonso.
Oh, Alfonso, are you ready?
I am only speaking about potentially we're working with KMS School because they're interested in putting together a junior leadership for March. And so right now they've kind of sketched out very, very vaguely what that day would look like and making it available to all on Oahu because it would be their first time doing so. So they didn't want to go too big a goal. They want to prove that it can be done. They have about 5 students. And so our club is going to assist as well as the school itself. And it would be hosted on the school campus in the auditorium, which is nice and spacious. And they have looked at a service project, which down the street from us is a park that we would do a service project. And they would also look at a fun activity. So there will be a leadership, it will be fun, and it will be service. So leadership, fun, and service are the 3 thematic focuses for what they want to do that day.
I do have a quick question because we're on the outer islands, but I'm going to leave this to be Oahu. So do we have a budget proposal for this? Are they expecting monies or is it being sponsored for Oahu students only, or how is this?
It would be something that there would be a small associated fee, which, you know, again, you're not looking at a huge cost for participation because it would be on the island, right? And then the project for the park cleanup, you know, that's like minimum to nothing. And the workshop itself is minimum to nothing. So it is, you know, if you look at it overarching, there's no facility cost. So that's minimum to nothing. And aside from just simply the cost of refreshments and such for, you know, the day. So it's going to be a low overhead event. And we're trying to work with the state arts folks to make that also like no cost. That fun activity over there. Is that what you're asking?
Pretty much. And then I would also, because we've had it virtual for the past, I think, 3 years,
Mm-hmm.
Joe and Laird, and not to you, Alfonso, but the question would be to the entire group, is that are we asking for each island, just like Ryla, to have their own type of junior Ryla?
So
program?
I'm clearly not the guy. I am simply my
Mhm.
my from Lord have mercy, I'm tongue twisted now.
No
I'm
worries.
for
Relax.
district. I'm not speaking for the district. I'm not speaking for any. I'm the youth director for downtown Honolulu.
Got it.
And so I spoke with Naomi and others, and in communicating, it was identified that there wasn't going to be a junior. And as we look for programs that my club could assist in navigating our interact, I said, hey, you know, if you guys want to do this, then we will make sure that, you know, you got full support. So I think that's kind of the nexus of what's going on here is we're creating an opportunity for our little kids over there to kind of step up and say, you know what? Let's see what it looks like if we can try to put this on and we know that we have some adult support.
Got it.
And around the focus of service, leadership, and fun.
Okay, that's fabulous. And I think it's a new way of looking at it versus the way it's been the past 3 years for being virtual, for these kids to have a hands-on type of community service and bonding. Does anybody else have any questions or concerns or anything they'd like to ask Alfonso or bring new insight to?
Well,
Nancy?
Alfonso,
Go ahead.
I think
Yes.
when would we be able to start recruiting? So is there a flyer that we can send out to some of the junior RILA interact clubs?
I think I don't think I'm speculating now. I'm waiting on the solidifying from the school on the activity, the fun activity, and for them to approve the date. And so once those two things are kind of, which we will hope happen before Christmas, I think that's when a flyer can kind of go out on Oahu saying, hey, you know, this is a great opportunity. And they, you know, that would something that would be shared with all the students as well as the clubs, but all of the middle school students and such.
Okay. So for the content, can you share kind of what your leadership design would be? So maybe the other islands would be able to replicate that?
Sure. Leadership at that level really is about what are their pillars, you know, of leadership and expectations, you know, how to citizenship, how to model. It is really around taking our middle school students and preparing them to step up to be, you know, the leaders. And so that means, you know, what are the foundations or pillars that we're looking for them, the character traits that we're looking for them to embody. And so we're kind of crafting either 4 to 6 pillars that they would embody. And so our leadership workshop will be around those concepts, you know, 3 or 4 themes that, hey, what really makes you a model? What makes you a leader and a model citizen as you ascend up?
Yeah, maybe we could have a possible discussion because I know there's other organizations trying to build the same type of leaders and what would make ours unique in order to call it Rotary.
Right. So it is definitely there. And the other thing that I know in my discussions I've had with some folks is you would be very, very surprised. And I'm in the I go around the state not only teaching the superintendents on down, I also with the students. And this past 7 school days, you know, I've done 5 workshops, 2-hour workshops with 7th and 8th graders. And I am just amazed at the intellect, the capacity, the creative thinking that is really not tapped into. And so it's definitely been one thing that I will be pushing for is that they will be a part of this development on what does leadership look like from their perspective, and more towards nurturing and guiding that into a model that, like you said, could be spread throughout Rotary clubs and other organizations for youth leadership. So at the end of the day, it really is about, hey, how do we tap into this, what I like to think of untapped talent that a lot of our young people have, and how do we make sure it's not just exclusively, to the elite, but every student, however, every student on campus feels as though, they can partake in this. And that's really what one of those goals is about.
Anybody have any questions for Alfonso? Awesome work, Alfonso. We look forward to seeing what you're gonna present and how we can assist and support in the future.
Thank you.
All right, Naomi, you want to take it back to youth compliance forums, or do you want to go ahead and go into leadership conference for Interact or anything else?
We're still missing some club certifications for the youth protection, so I think I'll send a email to the clubs that we're still missing and see if we can get those forms in. And then for the leadership, Dick, you have more on what Barry's putting together for the high schoolers?
Yeah, right now, we're haven't done that much. We have some ideas already, but Barry's tied up. He's in charge of the Pro City Christmas Parade happening on December 1st. So right now he's at that meeting. So it's a huge parade with over 100 participants. So
Hey, congrats on Pro City Band making it to Chicago. Yay.
But anyway, once it's done, we're gonna concentrate totally on that. What we know for sure is that it will be in that spring break in March. And I noticed there's other things happening then. And in that group meeting, and you were there, everybody seems to agree that they were leaning towards the Thursday date in March. Now, this Interact conference, we're gonna put out, Pro City High School is all in on this. In fact, they're excited. We're only going to invite the high school Interact clubs, probably from Mauna Loa all the way down to Mililani. So we're looking at about 5 or 6 Interact clubs there, officers, directors, and committee heads. So maybe somewhere around 75 to 125 kids only. We're going to concentrate. Instead of trying to blast out and get any kid that wants to come, we want to develop this yearly. That is, the Interactors get invited. You want to come as a student, join Interact. Okay, you want to come, join Interact, and come that way, serving 2 purposes. So, but basically, we're going to put a program together. It'll probably be from 7 in the morning to 2 p.m. We'll have the superintendent of schools there. We'll probably have some other dignitaries. It'll be totally probably free. We're going to go out and get corporate sponsors. We can tap about 3 or 4 sponsors to fund the whole thing. And one thing I learned, and I want to impress on this committee, that someone told me, you want to recruit 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds to your club. You have 20-year-olds and 30-year-olds, talk to them. They talk their language. So for these schools, we want to make sure that we have very young 20-year-olds that are very knowledgeable talking to these people, not some old 50-year-olds.
You got it.
Okay, so just a little change in philosophy of how to approach things. And the Leadership Academy of Pro City High School, the other leadership committees up there are all in on this. They will participate, and we'll probably have them also give some lectures. So right now, that's a rough plan, and we'll refine it in the month of December.
Okay, that's great. Anybody else want a question or anything to add to that? Outer Islands, we got our work cut out for us in order to involve our interactors and maybe have a get together for them to, get to know each other and do some great community work also. Upcoming events, action plan workshop, March 29th, plans for youth service. Naomi, you want to elaborate?
Okay. So on March 29th on Zoom, we're going to have action plan workshop. And this is for the board members, the chairs, to come and talk about what the action plan is for your club to take in starting July 1st, so next year. So for your piece of the puzzle on youth service, what are some of the plans that you want to do with youth service? Do you want to have them coordinate a project? So maybe you get some grant money for them to use to do a project. What are your plans? And this is where you put it into the big club action plan. So we're thinking, we're going to suggest that on each island, you do it in person. So we have 1 hour on how to do an action plan. What are the components of action plan? And then after that, you in person will talk with people on the island about coordinating or collaborating on projects or ideas. If you want to have another Interact conference talking about, okay, who's going to plan that? How can we get that done? Talking about things that you can do for youth service, career days, helping the clubs, the Interact clubs, be stronger as a club to develop their own internal leaders. Okay, and then the spring learning assemblies is April 9th, 5th and 9th, and that's where we're going to have the individual sessions for youth service and club service and all of the different positions on the club. So that's for incoming boards. So save those dates for training.
So the learning assemblies is specific for Rotarians, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Anybody have any questions about that? So innovation, creative ideas by the youth so that we can help support them in their year to come, whether they be RILA students or in Interact students that we support. And I think that is one of the biggest challenge, at least for us on the Big Island, is that these kids have 15 minutes to do a meeting, 15 to 20 minutes, and to ask other people to take off from their jobs or to stop their day to attend one of these meetings and then be on their way. Some feel that it's not fulfilling, but I personally can tell you these interactors are looking for opportunities, and they're looking for us to give them that opportunity to, especially in community service. So it's never 15 or 20 minutes wasted. So that's personally how I feel. And I hope you guys do too, because we make a difference in their lives. It's why we're youth on the youth team, right? So anyway, old business, career fairs, workforce development, work-based learning, all the scholarships, contests. Anything more on that, Naomi?
No, it's just kind of brainstorming on what we can do. I wanted to ask everybody, do you know if your schools have service learning credits that the kids need to get? No?
Gail? Do you want to go ahead and elaborate?
I can't speak for all schools in East Hawaii or on our island, but I am familiar with Waikea High School, and that's a necessary part of their requirements.
Okay, so service learning is where the students have to work on some project or something. So this would be a good way for us to get a project and have them, the students help and get some credit for service learning. So, try work with your interactors to see if that's something that you can help them with. And then they get to help you with your projects.
Yeah, for our Interact, besides the foreign exchange between Japan students and us and many other projects, whether they be Alzheimer's or whatever. This Thanksgiving, they're all giving up and coming to help Salvation Army's cause in feeding the homeless. So I believe those things would count towards what you're saying and make a big impact on several people, on other people's lives. Yeah. Mhm. Easy
So
breezy.
what do the kids need? I mean, if you ask them, what kind of training or what they need, how can we help them? So June, you work with a lot of kids.
Yeah.
What do they want?
I don't know. I've been out of the school system too long, remember. But I know like Mililani, they don't have service learning, but individual teachers require it. So
I think, and I could be wrong, but from the youth that we're dealing with, is they want opportunities to lead, opportunities to learn, opportunities to mentor. So they seem to be thirsty for it, so that's what I'll say, is that they're willing and ready to jump in to assist at any time, at least in Interact and several other robotic STEM, whatever. They are thirsty for community service.
Can I ask a question that's slightly related? And it just because of what I heard the response was and because of your question. Has Rotary ever looked at providing professional development for the teachers, which in turn will be actually beneficial to our young people?
Wow, I don't think we've done that for teachers, but that would be a great idea. So
Because
what kind of development would they like?
Yeah.
Well, again, I have been from one end of the state to the other, and I probably have done, goodness gracious, over the past 5 years, maybe 60, 70 workshops. And so now this year I've been collecting responses, and professional development is probably the one thing that they seek more of, and I think that maybe it's just my presumption, and I'm pretty sure it's well founded. It is a challenge for the school to be able to expend the funds to provide the teachers, so we would like train a principal, a vice principal, and then expect that trainer train the trainer, so to speak. When I'm curious if we could create some opportunities for teachers specifically, because in turn it would benefit our students. And they're looking for leadership. They're looking for enhanced, protocols, a lot of things, areas that they just aren't able to get. Professional development, and how do you rebrand yourself, after 20 years of teaching, all those kinds of things. But I won't belabor the time here today. The thought just came to mind, and I thought I would pass it on.
Alfonso, I think what you're saying is really very interesting. I know that the best way is probably to create incentives. So working with Department of Education on presenting a format that you want to do, such that they can go about and certify, I guess, Rotary to be an agent or of sorts that can present the program, and teachers can get credit for it. They'll do it for incentive.
Right.
Especially with our calendars, if you guys have any grandchildren or children, noticing that after every holiday, there's a teacher professional development day or a teacher career day or a teachers institute day. That may be the day that we could possibly implement at least a small segment of what you're proposing, Alfonso. That's pretty awesome.
So I just want to do a very, very humble and respectful pushback. I tell you, since we have mandatory trainings and other for the teachers, administrators, that there is really little bandwidth in those days. And quite honestly, I would be looking for Rotary to create something that wasn't during school day. Like maybe, you know how we do all of the different trainings on the weekends and such, and it's available. That creates a greater opportunity for more to participate. And I love what was just said, you know, if we could get that particular workshop or training, you know, signed off by the department, you know, there may be an opportunity for some of our teachers to actually get credit for continued learning, you know. And I guess I'm saying, instead of that they where the principal, the superintendent is saying, I need those 8 hours that, you know, is allocated on the calendar, it would then be something where there would be some volunteerism for those that want to be there or actually participate and learn.
This is gonna sound a little funny when I say that I think teachers could use a good RILA themselves. But I just want to say that District 5000 already has a tremendous training program. And so if it is already directed at Rotary, that maybe it's simple to modify it and then have utilize that level of information, you know, that can appeal to and help teachers. Then you already have curriculum that you can present and say, this is how good we are, and here's what we'd like to present. And maybe not in a school day, outside, because there's an incentive to motivate them.
Perfect.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Can I make a comment?
Yes.
Can I make a comment?
Mhm.
What the kids want is recognition. Okay, they do a project like Pro City High did this Ukraine project. We helped them along how to go through customs, all the things, hooked them up with a Rotary in Poland, and they got their product there. And then we took them to the city council. Had the city council recognize them for their efforts of doing something overseas. They got blasted, went all over the school and everything else. Another middle school, they did a fantastic project on something else. We took them, we got them recognition also, and they feel it, they see it. Kids at Pro City High, they go to Chuck E. Cheese every Halloween, okay? And they all just, and they judge all the kids in all the different contests at Chuck E. Cheese. And they have a blast doing that. And they get paid $200 by Chuck E. Cheese for doing this, for their things. Okay, we get the Pro City Shopping Merchants Association. We've got 4 Interact clubs, and we just opened one right now. And we're going to open another one probably January or February. They give every public school Interact club that we deal with $500 every year to start off with. We give the private ones, they give the private ones $250, and we match it. So all our clubs will start off with $500 every year. Don't have to worry about funding and so forth. We go out and get these people sponsored and stuff. And we start, you know, every Interact club we have, okay, the student council is the Interact club. The one we just started, our Lady of Good Counsel school, it goes up to 8th grade, didn't have a student council. They started their Interact club, and they decided we're going to make the Interact club the student body. Okay, and the first 2 months they've done 4 projects, huge projects. I mean, I just blew my mind. So you got to start somewhere. We start with dictionaries to third grade in 15 schools. And we follow kids all up to high school, and we push them along, get to intermediate, join an Interact club, Interact, transfer up to the, and so we deal with 22 schools in Iowa Pro City. We just need 3 more schools, and we have every school in Iowa Pro City. We want to dominate, and that's our philosophy. And eventually we'll get all the schools together to do one massive project, maybe once every 2 or 3 years. And that's our philosophy. That's what we've done already in the past. And so it's all coordinated event, and we bring sponsors in to help, and the schools all buy in. Every principal buys in big time. So it's how you approach the problem and give them a solution. We're gonna stand by you.
Yeah, and Dick, does anybody have a historian that's keeping track of how from elementary to the middle school to the high school that these transformations in at least Pearl City students happen?
Look at the odds, okay? This year we gave out 750 dictionaries to 15 schools.
Mhm.
If in the end, by the time they graduate, just 10% of them remember, those are future Rotarians down the road. We're building the name of Rotary in their heads, that what we do and see what we do and what they do. They buy in later on in life when they're comfortable. Hey, I used to do this. Let me go back. Okay, we're always short of members. We're building for the future. It's a long-term investment. Okay, that's how we look at it. And the thing too is, like I said, some of these kids, will never come back here. But as long as they become Rotarians in the future, anywhere in the world, isn't that our goal? So I mean, that's our philosophy. That's how we run things.
Similar to at least our club too, from kindergarten. But
I think one thing that Dick said, that the students like recognition. So is there something that Rotary can do to recognize interactors? I mean, is there a like an award that every interactor can nominate a person of the
Totally.
year? What?
We bought our our interactors to our club meeting, and of course paid for their lunch, and put all their projects that they were, worked hard for. A lot of interactors and a lot of Rotary clubs, they don't have the time to present, but these kids are working so hard every week. They're meeting.
So what do you guys think? So what if we do a district-wide some project to recognize an interactor?
Naomi?
Sure.
What the district should do is create a separate website. And for interactors and Rotaractors, print the projects that they do under, just like myprocity.com, the website for Pro City Shopping Center. All our projects go there. All the kids, we take pictures for dictionaries. All the projects they do, there's a story written up and it's posted there, so they can show their parents. This is what we do. Hey, this is what we were. So basically, there should be a district-wide website, and then they can check what each other are doing. Their own thing, their own society. Throwing it in a big mix of all the other things. Trying to look for everything is rough. In today's world, everybody wants fast answers, right? So they should probably have their own website. They can go and look at pictures. If the pictures are sent in by the clubs, for the Interact clubs, what they did, they posted it. They can tell their parents, go here, you can see me, what I did. They took a picture of me.
And also a lot of these Interact clubs have their own Instagram, have their own Twitter, have their own Facebook pages. I think we need to start researching and showing, because it's easily available, even with Pearl City and Our Savior. I'll never forget the traffic because my granddaughter went to Our Savior. You guys put it all over Facebook, but where do these pictures go? Where do all the recognition go? Yeah.
They're on myprocity.com is a website that Pro City Shopping Center supports. Anything to do with Pro City is plastered all, that thing goes back years. It's all stored there. What, anybody, any community, sports, you name it, it's all there.
Okay, so we can see if we can do a page for Interact, and then maybe another page on the side where each school or Interact can have their own page. But what we'd like to do is have a newsletter, and so Youth Service Month is May. So if we can start collecting some of the really good stories about the Interact clubs and put that into the newsletter that comes out early May, that is one way to recognize the activities. But do you also want, sorry, an award? So we give an award to one interactor in every club or something. What do you guys think?
I don't know if it would be award, but I think that a reunion of interactors would be appropriate.
Well, that takes a lot, but if we have awards for Rotarians, so I mean, Karen, Joni, what do you guys think? You know, should we have an award for something to recognize an interactor per club?
Joni, you're on mute.
Yeah. If we have an award, we need to have parameters and that needs to be given up front. Yes, I think that would be great. I think a newsletter so the clubs know each other, so they know where other clubs are, and I think that's one of the advantages to RILA is when they get together and they meet other Interact kids. So I would like or support anything that brought them together.
Okay, well, we're doing the conference and that'll bring people together. The newsletter is more for our Rotarians, but if you want a newsletter that can go out to interactors, I'm pretty sure we can put something together.
And not only Interact, but RILA graduates, because some of them don't have Interact and they love that connection that they made, and to keep them a part of that connection, I think would be so beneficial.
Alfonso?
Yes, I was going to simply suggest, would it be appropriate, I don't know if we already do, I apologize, like recognize like a 1, 2, and 3 Interact club for, you know, the whole state?
Okay, so Rotary has those certificates for Interact, but it doesn't come out until like September. So what if we do take that the criteria for the certificate and then recognize the clubs that they have to do so many steps. So we can work on that. I don't know, you know, if it's too late for this year because we didn't get the information out early, but we certainly can do it for next year.
Well, I think that would be another way of recognition. And, you know, again, with those being selected, it also figure out how to involve that school in some of that recognition. And I know that based on the relationship that's being formed with the superintendent, when we do recognize those, it would be important for us to see if we can't get a release of some kind written up or whatever, so it can be put on the Department of Education site. Because that's something that he said, and I know that I followed up with him about it, and also seeing what we can do to make sure that more of our clubs are, our schools in general, are connecting with the Rotary clubs, even for the clubs that don't have, you know, club interacts, or the youth, the kids don't have the I forgot the ones that's elementary.
Yeah, some of them called Early Act. Gail?
Yeah.
I just want to say that when it was mentioned that maybe a website would be really good, I think it's excellent because it's the whole community. You know, we don't, Rotarians alone shouldn't only have access to it, nor just the people related to Interact, but the whole community. Then everybody gets to see it. Parents get to see what their kids are doing. I think interactors get to see what other clubs are doing. And it's a motivator when you say, wow, that was a good idea, or we should do something like that. You know, it's good to have little bits of comparison or ideas that, you know, a particular club hasn't embarked on. I think wider is good because that's who you're reaching for, not just Interact or not just the ones already associated with Rotary.
Okay. You know, the problem though with pictures though is, you know, we don't have the releases for the pictures, so maybe we got to do it without photos.
But
I
we
know-
should, we do though, yeah, Jen.
Yeah, for Interact, we have the release.
Yeah, but what is it? Is the release okay for, you know, putting on a website that's going to be open to the public?
I think if we're promoting good intention, so we all have to be aware as Rotarians if there's something that's not right, that we shut it down right away.
Yeah, okay, so we need to research to make sure that we've got the right kind of releases, because if
Yeah.
your release it is only good for your club and we're gonna do it for the district, it's a little different.
Yeah, well, I can tell you on the Big Island, we're trying to get a community Interact going, which there's no, that's the problem, is no school. You know, under the rules, we have to have, or under DOE, they have to have faculty advisors. That's the big problem. But I think if we could work towards that, then we can also put in exactly what you're saying. Oh, bless you, Naomi. Bless you, bless you.
Well, community Interact is not tied to a school. So if you had it at Boys and Girls Club, because that's Doug Adams was talking about having it at Boys and Girls Club.
Yeah,
It's
there's a real need for it. Yeah.
But anyway, sorry, we went overtime.
We did go over time. It is now 6:38. I thank you. This was good discussion. I hope you guys felt the same way. We're going to forego the December meeting due to the holidays unless there's something urgent. Feel free to reach out to myself, Ryan, or Naomi to address right away. Maui, hey, let us know how we can help you recruit, and we will do so. Interact is very important, but Ryla changes life, changes it. If you've ever been to Ryla, you'll see the transformation, and that transformation making Interact students go to leadership possibilities, to what we've seen and witnessed, right? All of us. So go Ryla. Let us know if you need your support, and we'll help you any way we can. Everybody have a great Thanksgiving. Eat lots, but work out plenty after.
Nice seeing all of you.
Yeah, and we'll see you all on January 13th. Feel free again to email, put us any information how we can help you, and we'll be happy to do so, or provide you with an answer at least. Okay, aloha everybody. Have a great week. Mahalo.